Hi. I don't normally do this. I'm not very good at it. I write on social media. I don't do this. Okay. I'm doing this, however, in response to an accusation of posting false information. And, well, this appeared on my Facebook group. Basically, it's a cover, a label, saying that I've posted false information. Facebook has taken it upon itself to censor discussion. What is this? Here we're showing you information in your group that's been rated false or partly false by independent fact checkers. This is important apparently because we label false information and reduce its distribution by making it appear lower in people's news feeds. If a group shares enough false information, we may also reduce the distribution of all the group's posts and stop suggesting that people join the group. False information does not put your group at risk of being disabled. Okay, but what alleged false information does, and what Facebook is doing on the basis of their labeling, is making a certain conversation less accessible for people to take part in that conversation. Okay, well, here's the offending article that I posted. It's from a website called hubpages.com. It's not a particularly well written article, and the headline is actually very bad. It says, former chief science officer for Pfizer says second wave faked on false positive COVID tests, pandemic is over. That headline actually makes no sense. This guy Yaden, Dr. Mike Yaden, wasn't saying that at all. What he was saying was that predictions of a second wave are false or flawed because they are based on COVID tests which produce false positives. And I've looked at his argument. Okay, Yaden's basic argument, as I understand it, is that given the relatively small number of infections indicated by the PCR tests, less than 5%, it follows that even a relatively small number of false positives, apparently that's 5%, implicit in the testing mechanism, very significantly inflates the number of supposed infections. So his argument is that the government is basing its strategy on the returns from a test that's really not fit for purpose. What Yaden is saying actually makes some sense to me. It makes a lot of sense to me. And it seems that this is part of an ongoing discussion about the reliability of the tests. And I've looked at, asked the question of Google what percentage of COVID tests are positive. And looking here, I get an answer. The percentage of positive tests is dropped from 40%. That's presumably at the height of the infection, to less than 2.5% now. There's other information on this page. I'm not going to look at that because what I wanted to show was that there is ongoing concern about the validity of a testing regime on which the government is basing its lockdown strategy. And I think that it's right to actually ask some questions, and it's right to have debate, and it's wrong to have suppression of that debate. I'm going to put this stuff on my website, and I'm going to put links to that website. And that's it. Yaden actually says more than I've covered, but the fact checkers have only disputed that bit of it. Yaden talks about herd immunity, and that is a different story, which I'm not going to look at the moment. I think that I've made my point, and I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm writing, and you can read what I've written. Oh, just one more thing. Just point out that at the top of this Lead Stories article by the fact checkers, it says disputed. It doesn't say false, it says disputed. So what Facebook is doing is actually perhaps saying that nothing should be disputed, which is weird, and I think wrong. Okay, that's it.